Hello, fellow gardeners. Imagine your garden, not just next season, but decades from now. Soil dark, crumbly, and bursting with life. This isn't a fantasy. The secret? Activated biochar. For years I've focused on feeding the soil, not just the plants, using no-dig methods. But discovering biochar changed everything. It's an ancient, simple way to build lasting fertility. Inspired by the legendary terra preta of the Amazon, I realized biochar is a permanent upgrade for soil, transforming it for generations. Unlike quick-fix fertilizers, biochar creates a lasting home for beneficial microbes. Think of it as building a luxury hotel for the life in your soil. Add activated biochar once, and you're investing in your garden's future for centuries. Whether you have a balcony or a sprawling allotment, these principles work for everyone. Forget what you know about soil amendments. Biochar is a game changer. Let's dive in and unlock extraordinary fertility together. So, what is this black gold? Biochar is a special kind of charcoal. It's made by heating organic material, like wood or straw, in a low-oxygen environment, a process called pyrolysis. Unlike ash from burning, biochar is stable, porous, and resists decay. This structure is the secret to its long-lasting benefits. That's why it endures in soil for centuries. Biochar's story begins in the ancient Amazon. Archaeologists found terra preta, amazingly fertile, dark earth, created by indigenous people mixing charcoal, pottery, and organic waste into poor rainforest soil. The result? Fertility that lasted thousands of years. Biochar's porous structure held water and nutrients, creating a haven for microbes. This was no accident, it was sophisticated land stewardship. Today we're reviving this wisdom, using modern methods to make biochar for our own gardens. When you use biochar, you join a tradition of soil regeneration that spans millennia. What happens when biochar meets soil? Under a microscope, biochar looks like a honeycomb, countless pores and tunnels. This massive surface area is a permanent reef for soil life. It doesn't decompose like compost, it stays, improving soil structure for centuries. Biochar shelters beneficial microbes and holds on to water and nutrients, keeping them in the root zone. It boosts compost and fertilizer efficiency. In clay soils, it improves drainage and aeration. In sandy soils, it increases water retention. But raw biochar is like an empty hotel, no guests, no food. If added uncharged, it can temporarily rob soil of nutrients. That's why we must activate it, filling its pores with nutrients and microbes before use. This step transforms it from a sterile sponge into a living part of your soil. Activated biochar is a true soil conditioner, not a fertilizer. It's the foundation for a thriving garden ecosystem. Making biochar connects you to your garden's cycles. You can buy it, but making your own from prunings or waste wood is rewarding. Use a metal container or cone kiln, light a fire at the top, let it burn down, and starve the lower layers of oxygen. This process, called pyrolysis, turns wood into charcoal with minimal smoke. Quench the fire with water before it turns to ash. This sudden cooling fractures the charcoal, increasing its surface area. Let it cool, then test. It should snap easily and sound glassy. Now, activate it. Mix cooled, crushed biochar into your compost heap, 5–10% by volume. As compost matures, biochar soaks up nutrients and microbes, or soak it in compost tea or diluted urine for a few days to charge it. Once activated, it's ready for your soil. This step is crucial. Charged biochar becomes a living, nutrient-rich amendment. Homemade or store-bought, activation is key. Now you're ready to transform your soil. Once activated, it's time to add biochar to your garden. For new beds, spread a layer, 1–2 kilon per square meter, before your compost. For established beds, simply sprinkle a thin layer as a top dressing before your annual compost mulch. No digging needed. Worms and rain will work it into the soil naturally. In containers, mix about 10% activated biochar into your potting compost for better water retention and nutrient buffering. When planting trees or shrubs, add a few handfuls to the planting hole for a microbial boost. Biochar is a one-time, permanent amendment, no need to reapply every year. After the first application, small annual top-ups are optional, especially if you make your own. The heavy lifting is done. your soil's capacity to support life is fundamentally improved. Compost and biochar together create a stable, efficient environment for plant roots. Your garden will be more resilient, productive, and easy to manage. Biochar amplifies the benefits of your regular compost. It's a long-term investment in soil health. At Homeacres, combining no-dig gardening with activated biochar has been transformative. No-dig builds soil from the top down. Biochar supercharges this process. Adding biochar to compost mulch creates a thriving habitat for soil life. In my trials, beds with biochar retain moisture longer and plants are less stressed during dry spells. The result? Healthier, more resilient crops and less watering. Biochar also improves nutrient cycling. Compost feeds the soil. Biochar stores the nutrients. Growth is more vigorous, leaves are greener, and yields are higher. It prevents nutrient runoff, making compost work harder and last longer. Most rewarding is knowing I'm building a legacy, locking carbon into the soil for generations. Each year, my soil improves, and biochar takes it to another level. It's the ultimate partnership. Modern no-dig meets ancient biochar. The result is a regenerative, productive, and sustainable garden. This is stewardship in action. We've explored the history, science, and practical steps of using biochar. Now, you have the tools to start your own biochar journey. This isn't just a gardening tip, it's a shift in mindset. By making and using activated biochar, you become a creator of soil fertility, not just a consumer. Start small. Try one bed or a few containers, make a batch, and observe the results. Document your progress and share your findings. Every handful of biochar is a step toward a healthier, more resilient garden and planet. Share this knowledge with friends and fellow gardeners. The more of us who build healthy soil, the greater our collective impact. Join the movement for regenerative gardening. Subscribe for more soil stories and practical tips. Your garden can be a legacy of abundance and joy for generations. The secret is in the soil. Happy gardening.